Okay, so I know I love books, but do you want to read something that catches your attention? Something about romance, vampires, affairs, relationships, or just secrets and the past that just has to come back and haunt you? Well, if you do, then stay tuned for this haul because you absolutely have to get these books. Hi guys, I'm going to share with you some books I got at Borders with my mom a weekend or two ago. They're shutting down, so there's like a whole bunch of sales, and I was like super excited because I can get like a whole load of books because of it, and I like read like 24/7, so it kind of really helps. Then I'm really sad because I like absolutely loved Borders, and I didn't get to go there a whole lot, so it kind of makes me sad that they're already closing. But yeah, so let's get on to it. So I got Miss You Most of All, and it's I'll tell you a little bit about the book or whatever it says. So you guys, if you're interested, you can be like, oh, I like this book, I'm gonna go get it. So okay, few things are as lasting as the bond between sisters, and her poignant debut, Elizabeth Bass explores the lengths one cobbled-together family will go to for each other and the power of connection that never fades. Sassy Spencer's farm is a place to find solace. At least that's what it becomes since Rue Anderson and her sister Laura transformed their childhood Texas homestead into a successful tourist destination. It's where guests flock to get their hands dirty and taste food from the fresh garden, and it's where Rue is raising her preteen daughter on her own while trying to keep her outspoken sister in check. It's not easy, but together it seems there's nothing the two can't handle until an unexpected, not entirely welcome guest shows up in the middle of one warm summer night. Heidi Bogue, one-time stepsister to Rue and Laura, is back, and she's hiding from something. Why else would she return to the place she was dragged to, kicking and screaming as a teenager? The place she was thrilled to leave when 3 years later she and her mother bolted, leaving Rue and Laura's father heartbroken. But while Laura is irate, Rue won't turn Heidi away. Technically they were once sisters, and to Rue, sisterhood is forever. Soon Sassy Spencer Farm is turned upside down by Heidi's complicated presence. Still, Rue is determined that Heidi, like all their other guests, finds the farm a safe place to discover cannot talk or remember what really matters. It's a revelation that will come sooner than many of them expected when devastating news shakes the foundation of the tenuous sisterhood. Moving and uplifting, here's a beautiful written novel about the bonds we are born into and those we create for ourselves, of the strength that comes into loving without limits. I know my friends are mostly like, will only read books if it's like a certain amount of pages, and this book is 426 pages, so it's a good sized book, but I've read more, and if it's a good book, then it's not going to be that bad, because you're just going to be like dragged into it, and you're going to be like, oh my god, this is so good, I don't want it to ever end. So if you think about it, that's not that much. Okay, and then I got The Weird Sisters. I usually wouldn't have even looked at this book if it wasn't because of the cover and the design on it, which first caught my eyes. But yeah, it's by Eleanor Brown, and this one's by Elizabeth Bass, if you guys are wondering, because I guess that would make it kind of easier for you guys to find if you're going to go get these books. Okay, so Unlucky in Work, Love, and Life, the Andrews sisters return to their childhood home. Each has a secret she's unwilling to share. Each has come home to lick her own wound. The Andrews family is an eccentric one. Books are their passion. There is no problem a library cannot solve. TV, something other than other families watch. Their father, a renowned professor of Shakespeare who communicates almost exclusively in verse, named all three girls for a great Shakespearean woman: Rose, Rosaline, Bean, Bianca, and Cordelia. not quarter line. As a result, the sisters find they have a lot to live up to. With this burden, the Andrea sisters have a difficult time communicating with their parents and their lovers, especially with one another. What can the homebody and the shy elder sister, the fast-living and mysterious middle child, and the bohemian youngest sibling have in common? Why can't Rose leave her hometown for the man she loves? Why has Glamorous Bean come home from New York City with her tail between her legs to the small college town she swore she'd leave as soon as she could? And why has Cordy suddenly resurfaced after years of gypsy living? Each sister has found her life nothing like she had thought it would be, and now as they are faced with their parents' frailty and their own disappointments and setbacks, their usual quick salve of a book can't solve what ails them. Okay. And then Love in Midair is a book that I got, and it's by Kim Wright, if you need to know how to spell that. Okay. So, approaching 40, a married woman struggles to find a new kind of happiness in this enthralling and surprising debut novel. Okay, now, I'm going to tell you right away, most people my age will not be reading this, just because I think it's for older people, but I thought it would be kind of cool and interesting, but yeah, this might not be a book that you're even close to interested in yet. What?
1, 2, 3, potatoes and
One? Okay, so a chance encounter with a stranger on an airplane sends Elise Burden into an emotional tailspin. Suddenly, Elise is willing to risk everything: her safe but stale marriage, her seemingly perfect life in an affluent southern suburb, and her position in the community. She finds herself cutting through all the instincts that say no and says, "Let's yes happen." As Elise embarks on a risky affair, her longtime friend Kelly and the other women in their book club begin to question their own decisions about love, sex, marriage, and freedom. There are consequences for Elise, her family, and her circle of close friends, all of whom have investment in her life continuing as normal, but in normal what she really wants after all. In the end, it will take an extraordinary leap of faith for Elise to find and follow her own path of happiness. An intelligent, sexy, absorbing tale, and honest look at modern-day marriage, Love in Midair offers the experience of what it's like to change the course of one's own destiny when finding oneself caught in midair. Okay, so since this is about love and sex and all that good stuff, if you know somebody that you're like, oh, I'm going to suggest this to all my friends, and you have a friend that's, say, younger than you, and you're friends with them because they live on your street, and they're like 12, 13-ish, wouldn't let them read this book. I haven't read it yet, so I don't know if it's that bad or not, but just because that is kind of where it is with the sex and the love and all that good stuff, it might not interest them, and if it does, it might interest them in a bad way. Like, I know I'm not going to let my sister read this if she even ever wants to read this, because she's like 12, 13. Yeah, not ever letting her read this. Or at least not till she's like 14, 15 years old. Okay, and then I got Past Secrets by Cassie Kelly. And, okay. They all hide secrets that won't go away. From the outside, the welcoming garden, adored house of Summer Street are the picture of Irish charms, but on the inside, unexpected and heartbreaking secrets swirl. At house number 32, hardworking single mother Faye Reed conceals the truth about her marriage from her fiery daughter Amber. But Amber, a budding artist, also hides something from her all too trusting mother, a relationship with a rock star hopeful whom she plans to throw away her future. At number 48, Maggie McGuire arrives at her childhood home to help her sick mother, a welcome distraction from her life she left behind, and the startling secret she's hiding from herself. and only become harder to keep. At 34 Summer Street, wise and kind Christy Devlin has the remarkable ability to see into the lives and hearts of others, and May had the answers when her neighbors' carefully hidden secrets bubbled to the surface. But when Christy's own past comes back to haunt her, posing a threat to her picture-perfect marriage, this time answers aren't as clear. And then I got Wuthering Bites by Sarah Gray. Okay. It says, what if the enigmatic hero of one of our most timeless love stories was part vampire? The answer lies in this haunting retelling of the classic tale of Catherine and Heathcliff, kindred spirits bond by turbulent and now forbidden passion. When a young orphan named Heathcliff is brought to Wuthering Heights by the manor's owner, Mr. Earnshaw, rumors abound. Yet the truth is more complicated than anyone could guess. Heathcliff's mother was a member of a gypsy band that roamed the English countryside, slaying vampires to keep citizens safe. But his father was a vampire. Now, even as Heathcliff gallantly fights the monsters who roam the moors in order to protect beautiful-spirited Catherine Earnshaw, he is torn by compassion for his victims and by his own dark thirst. Though Catherine loves Heathcliff, she fears the vampire in him and is tempted by the privileged lifestyle their neighbors, the Lynchons, and forced to choose between wealthy, refined Edward Lynchon and the broader, increasingly dangerous Heathcliff. She makes a fateful decision, and soon Heathcliff too must choose between his hunger and the woman he will love for all eternity. So yeah, if you're a vampire fan and like a romance novel fan, get this book. Okay. And then the final book that I got is a book that I've started to read on, and I've read like 40 pages into it. But since I'm reading like 3 books right now, I haven't got much farther in this book. It's called Matched. It's by Ali Condi. Okay. It says, and this society officials decide who you love, where you work, when you die. Cassie has always trusted their choices. It's hardly any price to pay for a long life, the perfect job, the ideal mate. So when her best friend appears on the matching screen, Cassie knows with complete certainty that he is the one, until she sees another face flash for an instant before the screen fades to black. Fades, not fades. Now Cassie is faced with impossible choices between Xander and Kai, between the only life she's known and in the past no one else has ever dared to follow, between perfection and passion. This is a really good book. I suggest that everybody should get this book just because I love it and I'm barely into this. It's how many pages is that? It's 366 pages. Past Secrets is 484 pages. Wuthering Bites is 362 pages. The Weird Sisters is 318, and Love in Midair is 312. So, yeah, I got these at Borders, and if you have a Borders by you, there's probably like, by the time when I got these, I think it was like a 25 to 50% sale off, and I got these 6 books for like $100. But with what it would have originally costed me to get these 6 books, it was totally worth it. So yeah, you guys can go check them out. Bye guys.